Now we can begin. Here are 50 amazing facts to blow your mind. Europa is the 6th closest moon of Jupiter. One day on Europa is 3.551 Earth days. It takes Europa 3.55 Earth days to orbit Jupiter. That means that a day in Europa takes the same amount of time as 1 year on Europa. Actor Sean Connery was offered the part of Gandalf in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, offering him $10 million and 15% of box office takings for all 3 movies, but he turned it down because he didn't understand the script. Moneypenny, what are these hobbits? The National Geographic Society was founded on January 27, 1888. It was formed by 33 men who were a group of geographers, explorers, teachers, lawyers, cartographers, military officers, and financiers. They created it because they all had an interest in scientific and geographical knowledge and wanted to share it with everyone. According to the Guinness World Records, the oldest continuously used national flag is the Dannebrog, or Danish cloth, the flag for Denmark. It's been in use since the 1370s. Eating a late night snack right before bed can increase your metabolism and cause you to have nightmares. Because your metabolism is increased, it signals the brain to become more active and cause scary dreams. It is impossible to swallow and breathe at the same time. There's a cannon located in Stanley Park in Vancouver that goes off every night at exactly 9 p.m. It's overlooking Cole Harbor in the downtown skyline in the exact same spot where it was installed in 1898 by the Canadian Department of Marine and Fisheries. It was originally installed to warn fishermen of the close of the nightly fishing. The human stomach can hold up to 1.5 liters of liquid at any given time. You can also hold up to 16.91 cups of food when it's fully distended. That's about 50 times the normal volume of the stomach. So basically anytime I go to a buffet. About 1 in 200 people are born with an extra rib called a cervical rib. At the back, it connects to the 7th cervical vertebra in your neck. At the front, in some people, the rib can be floating and have no connection. It can also be connected to your first rib by a band of tough fibrous tissue, or there may be a joint to connect it to your first rib. It can be just on the right side, just on the left side, or even both sides. The tree with the longest leaves in the world is the raffia palm, which is native to some African countries. Each leaf can be up to 24.4 meters long and up to 3 meters wide. You can now get music from the classic Sega games on Spotify. You can find tracks like Outrun, Sonic the Hedgehog, Shinobi, Golden Axe, and Jet Set Radio. There are over a dozen full albums to choose from. In January 2016, underwater photographer Ellen Mueller accidentally stumbled upon a brand new species of hermit crab in the National Marine Park off the southern Caribbean island of Bonaire. Because its legs look like candy canes, it's been called the candy-striped hermit crab. Still, I don't care how candy cane it looks, it's the spider of the sea, it's freaky. According to the Guinness World Records, the loudest burp ever recorded by a male was 109.9 decibels and was achieved by Paul Hun in the United Kingdom on August 23, 2009. Cyprus and Kosovo are the only 2 countries to depict the outline of their nation on their flag. The province of Newfoundland was once a dominion that functioned much like its own country until 1934. It became part of Canada on March 31, 1949, after 52% of voters in a referendum supported joining the country. There's a church in the Czech Republic made entirely of bones. The Sedlic ossuary features a collection of dismembered and bleached human remains. It's estimated to hold the remains of between 40,000 and 70,000 people, a lot of whom died in the plague in 1418 and during the Hussite Wars of the 15th century. It's located under the Cemetery Church of All Saints and has things such as candelabras, candle holders, and chalices made from bones. Poland's Wieliczka salt mine, located more than 305 meters underground, is roomy enough to fit the Eiffel Tower and then some. It's one of the world's oldest salt mines still in operation, although it stopped producing table salt in 2007. Over the years, miners have been carving out sculptures and even 4 chapels all made of salt. As salt mining slowed and then stopped, the chambers have been transformed into an incredible underground amusement park with grand halls, health spas, museum-worthy art, and record-setting spectacles. There's a town in Texas called Ding Dong and is located in Bell County. The Japanese national anthem is really easy to learn because it's only 5 lines long. The Mattel toy company was started in 1945 in a garage owned by Harold Matson and Elliot Handler. The name Mattel is a combination of their names. They started out producing picture frames, but when Elliot started making dollhouse furniture from the picture frame scraps, they were so successful that they switched over to making nothing but toys. One of the deadliest airplane crashes of all time happened on the ground. On March 27, 1977, a KLM Royal Dutch Airline Boeing 747 started to take off and crashed into a Pan American World Airways Boeing 747 that was still on the runway. It happened at the Los Rodeos Airport in the Canary Islands. A total of 574 people from both planes died. Imperial Japanese Army officer Hiro Onoda remained at his jungle post on the island of the Philippines for 29 years because he refused to believe that World War II was over. He returned to a hero's welcome in Japan in 1974. Author of the books Jaws and The Deep, Peter Benchley was a speechwriter for President Lyndon B. Johnson. Charlie Chaplin was the first actor to appear on the cover of Time magazine on July 6, 1925. In his 80s and partially bedridden, famous artist Henri Matisse would sketch portraits from his bed by using a 1.2 meter long stick with a pencil or piece of charcoal attached to the end to reach the paper or canvas. According to the Guinness World Records, the largest jackpot payout in an online slot machine game was over $20 million. It was won by John Haywood from Cardiff in the United Kingdom on October 6, 2015, while playing Microgaming's Mega Moolah on Betway's website. On February 6, 1971, astronaut Alan Shepard, using a makeshift 6-iron he had smuggled on board Apollo 14, hit 2 golf balls on the moon's surface, becoming the first and only person to play golf anywhere other than Earth. The 27th President of the United States, William Howard Taft, had a love of bathtubs, very large bathtubs. Taft, who weighed about 154 kilograms, had a huge bathtub built in 1909 that weighed a ton. It was installed on the USS North Carolina for a visit to the Panama Canal. Another tub was installed in the Taft Hotel that was 2.4 meters long, 1.2 meters wide, and 1.2 meters deep. A 454 kilogram horse produces approximately 23 kilograms of manure per day, or about 9,072 kilograms of manure per year. That's a lot of poopy. There's a type of salamander called the axolotl that never changes into an adult. They stay in their larval stage for their whole lives and can even reproduce without reaching the adult stage. The female lion does the majority of the hunting, with the male only joining in occasionally when the prey is especially large, such as a buffalo. Most cats don't like the water, but not the fishing cat that is found in India. The bulk of the fishing cat's diet is made up of fish, which they will not only swim and dive after, but they try and scoop them out with their paws as well. The green vomit that comes out of Reagan, played by actress Linda Blair in the 1973 movie The Exorcist, was actually a combination of split pea soup and oatmeal. Stan Laurel of comedy duo Laurel and Hardy was silent film star Charlie Chaplin's understudy. T-shirts are called T-shirts because when laid down, they're shaped like a T. The average human head weighs 4.5 kilograms. Except mine, I have a huge alien skull. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, pneumono-ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis is the longest word in the English language. It's 45 letters long and is a type of lung disease. Also, feel free to hit that like button after me trying to pronounce that 45 times off camera. NASA astronaut Scott Kelly, after living for nearly a year aboard the International Space Station, came home to find out that he is 5 centimeters taller than his identical twin brother Mark. This is because astronauts get a bit taller in space because the discs of the spinal column on Earth get compressed due to gravity. In space, there is no gravity, which causes the discs to expand and the spine to lengthen, making the astronaut taller. There's a weather phenomenon known as Hector the Convector that forms nearly every afternoon on the Tiwi Islands, Northern Territory, Australia, during the transitional months of November to December and February to March each year. It's known as one of the world's most consistently large thunderstorms. The enormous thundercloud reaches heights of approximately 20.1 kilometers. Mexico City has sunk more than 9.8 meters in the last 60 years because 70% of the water people rely on is extracted from the aquifer below the city. There's a substance contained in licorice root called glycyrrhizin that is about 50 times sweeter than sugar. The Ruppel's Griffon vulture is known as the highest flying bird ever recorded. They've been recorded to fly at an altitude of 11 kilometers in the air. For perspective on just how high that is, the average commercial plane flies at about 9 to 12 kilometers in the air. Since the vulture is so high up, it has developed a special type of hemoglobin which makes their oxygen intake much more effective at those heights. The kangaroo rat is so adapted to desert living that they can go their whole lives without drinking any water. They get enough moisture from their seed diet to survive. Kauai has turned a ditch that runs down Mount Waleale into a lazy river ride. Over a century ago, there was a hand-built ditch system put in, a series of canals and tunnels to bring water from the waterfalls and streams of Mount Waleale to provide irrigation for the sugarcane fields of the sugar plantations below. Since the plantation is closed down, it's now used as a water ride. The Korowai and Kombai people, indigenous tribes that live in southeastern Indonesia, live in homes that are atop of trees. They are usually built between 6 meters and 25 meters above the ground, but they can go as high as 50 meters. They build them that high to avoid some animal attacks from the jungle, the flood during the rainy season, and to be a post guard during conflict that may occur among tribes. In January of 2017, the Vale Brewing Company, a craft beer maker in Richmond, Virginia, created a new beer that's infused with Oreo cookies. They took their chocolate milk stout and conditioned it with hundreds of pounds of Oreo cookies and named it Hornswoggle Chocolate Milk Stout with Oreos. Former President Harry S. Truman, who served from 1945 to 1953, was the first president to be given a Secret Service code name, General. Beer with more than 2.25% alcohol was banned for most of the 20th century. It was banned until March 1st, 1989, which is now celebrated every year as Beer Day. In February of 2017, researchers at the University of Toronto discovered soft tissue, collagen and iron-rich proteins inside a 195 million year old dinosaur bone. It was found within the rib of a Lufengosaurus dinosaur, a long-necked herbivore that roamed across what is now southwestern China during the early Jurassic period. Poison dart frogs are completely non-toxic when they are bred in captivity. Even wild-caught frogs gradually lose their poisons in captivity. In order to create their toxins, poison dart frogs need certain chemicals that are present in the insects they eat in the wild. Therefore, they are no longer poisonous when in captivity because they do not get the same insects as their food. And that's it. Knowledge Whale blesses you. Oh! I hope you guys enjoyed this. On the right, you'll find 2 of my most recent videos that you can press or click on your screen right now if you'd like to watch some more. Maybe learn something, maybe laugh a little bit. He's funny, he's bald. And other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great weekend. I love your face. Bye.